Hi, this is Mrs. Vaughn. I have a new lesson for you. This is equations of circles. Okay, so the equation of a circle is right here. It's the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this is a copy of the notes that you should have. You should have copied them already, but I'm going over them with you. Okay, so this is the equation of a circle in standard form. And this H and K, that would be the center of your circle. HK is the center of your circle. So right here, this is the point H comma K. So whatever, instead of using X and Y, we use H and K for the center of the circle. The radius, we always have abbreviated that with the R, and it's squared in this formula. Okay, so the equation of the circle was derived from the distance formula, and we're all familiar with the distance formula. We've been using it all year. And when you want to find the distance between 2 points, you do x1 subtracted from x2, then square that, plus y2 minus y1, square that, and then you take the square root of it and you get the distance formula. So that distance right there is actually the radius, and it wouldn't matter what point you used on the circle because that distance is going to be the same for all of them, no matter where you put it, if you're doing the distance from the center of the circle. So that R is what we found, and we're going to use the HK as our x1, y1. So we plug those in, and then our formula is derived, and I'm just going to move the R over here, and this is how we normally write it. X minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So sometimes the center is at 0, 0 at the origin. And so if it is, we can write our equation, our formula out. So the formula is x minus h and then plus y minus k equals the radius squared. Okay, so if we put 0, 0 here as our center, and our radius, whatever the number is squared. When you do x minus 0, you still get x, so we write x squared. We don't have to write the 0. We can just write x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And so this is when your center is at the origin. Okay, when you have 0, 0 as your origin. So this is a special case. So let's do some examples. These are the examples that are in your notes. So what is the equation of the circle shown below? So here I have the center is at negative 3, 3, and a point on the circle is at 2, 3. Okay, so my center is negative 3, 3, and that is the HK. So again, I'm going to write out the formula, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So let's plug in our negative 3 for the h. So x minus negative 3 squared plus y minus the 3 squared is going to equal our radius squared. So we need to figure, now we would figure out what our radius is. So we can, there's a couple, we have the distance formula, but since this is horizontal, they're both at the 3 on the y, we just have to count how far it is. So from negative 3 to 2, that's 3 on this side and 2 on that side, that's 5. So our radius is 5 squared. Now we can just simplify from here, and we're going to write, since we have x minus negative 3, we're just going to write x plus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared, and then we'll square the 5 and we get 25. So this would be the equation of my circle with center negative 3, positive 3, and radius 5. Okay, let's do another example. I'm going to take this, let's see, let's make this smaller and this smaller. Move this out of the way. And we'll bring this up here. Okay, what is the equation of a circle with radius 8 and center 4? Okay, so our radius is 8 and our HK is going to be this 0, 4. So our equation again, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And now let's just plug in our HK. All right, so x minus 0 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 8 squared. And then simplify. Well, x minus 0 we can just write as x squared. Then we have our y minus 4 squared, and 8 squared is 64. So this is the equation of a circle with a radius 8 and a center 0, 4. So for the last example, we're going to do this one here. What is the radius of a circle with the given equation? So this is the equation that we're using, and it's asking us, what is the radius? Okay, so we know that our formula says x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So the r squared is equal to 8. So the radius is the square root of both of these sides. And so we end up with the radius is the square root of 8. And we can put it in the calculator and get a decimal, but usually you just leave it like that. All right, so what if it asked us for what is the center of the circle? Okay, well, again, we've written out our formula. What is the center? So it's HK, and our formula has minus signs in them. We're always going to use the opposite of the number in the equation. Okay, so if I have a plus 5 here, I'm going to write down a minus 5. And if I have a minus 3, I'm going to write down a positive 3, because they're opposite of the number in the equation. And that's how we find the center. I hope this helps, me going over the notes with you. And remember to see me during tutoring time or email, text, whatever, to ask questions. I'm here to help you guys. All right, thanks. Bye.